Welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv where we talk about the fantastic and wonderful FileMaker platform. My name is Margaret. I'm here to talk with you about FileMaker with Nick Hunter, who is, I'm pulling up his camera is what I'm doing. There we go. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good, thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Okay.
Real quick, everyone, a quick reminder that we stream on 4 platforms. We stream on Discord, we stream on YouTube, and we stream on Twitch. Feel free if you would actually in Zoom as well. So if you would like a Zoom link, let me know. I'll happily share that out with you so you can chill on our Zoom call with us. Let's talk about our future training schedule since we do this 5 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week we have Nick Hunter finishing out his Build a Bot series and answering any questions that you may have about anything that you wish to discuss. If you would like to support the channel, we would appreciate you buying the FM Training annual subscription. It is 100+ hours of fantastic training video content on intermediate. Basically, if you want to become an intermediate FileMaker developer and pretty much know the platform pretty thoroughly, get this. Nick is a presenter in it. Richard's a presenter in it. Calvin, Jacob, J. Ray, everyone that you know and interact with has participated in this and discusses things in very bite-sized animated content, little packages. So those are pretty awesome. If you've already bought it, thank you so much for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. And then with that being said, Nick, what are we
Yes.
doing today?
What we do, I don't know. Let's go to the beach.
I mean, I'm down for that.
No, I'm not. I'm not at the beach. I'm not at the beach anymore. I'm in
Ah,
Bogota. You can see behind me. It's a pretty nice city, by the way. Today it's the last week of the bot stuff. Okay, so you understood that the bot was pretty much an excuse to get something larger than just the bot, because explaining the bot, you need 2 days for that, right?
mhm.
But we went in details, how to create things, how to make it working, how to get it consistent, how to transfer scripts, how to call another computer to execute the scripts, and because we have many technique outside in competition, and only it's not my technique, is the technique. There's only one technique working, is the technique of the time on timer, right? And the technique of not trying to launch the technique is not trying to, from my computer, telling another computer to do something like execute script from my computer to another one. No, uh, you don't say anything. You don't say a thing. You create a record. You put the name of the script on the record. The other computer retrieve the record, read the name of the script, execute the script, and done. Okay, so this is the technique, but it's new because we have the new perform script perform script by name that we didn't have before. Okay, so that's why it's now it's a viable technique that we didn't have like 2 years ago. Couldn't do that before the perform script by name. So this week we are going to end this wrap up, and but I'm going to talk a little bit about design, because I'm saying that all the time. It's how you will design your thing will make your results good or a disaster. Okay, so it's everything is design. The design will make a disaster of something good. It's that simple. Explaining the design, and this week I'm going to explain the technique behind. Last week I was talking about something like how to get a record updated without getting the message this record is busy when it is busy. So I show you the technique to have another record. So to slice what you need to update from what you can open, right? So if you have what you need to update permanently, if you have this detached from the main record, it's connected with a relationship. If you have a straight one to one, A to B, right? Relationship like that, one to one relationship is like one record, you know? So when you have, but it's not one. So one you edit, you can open, and the other one you don't let anybody edit one field. So one record will be updatable all the time, and the other one you can open, and you will never get something like, oh, it's busy, right? So we are going to see that. So I'm going to share my screen right quick. Okay. And the thing I shouldn't show. So try to get this done. Okay. So here we are. We have a project here, right? So we have project, you have invoice, contact, task, the costs, etc. And stuff still in progression. I'm not done with those things, with all of this, the tasks. I don't even know if we are going to put that. But those two are done, those three. Okay. So here we have a service. So we can add service, right? So far, we show that we have no service. Okay. So no services. So no services. Automatically, your instinct says, okay, add service. So you have no services. So your instinct says, okay, if you need services, you have to add service. So I'm going there and I have my list of services. So and here I can add multiple services. So let's add two. I'm going to add two services, right? So here I'm saying two services. Okay. So I'm using Carl window to make things natural. So it's natural, right? It feels natural, and you understand what's going on with this green, checkbox, right? And I show you many times that those are not. I'm not modifying the records. So it's not a checkbox. It's not a FileMaker checkbox. It's a button that I'm showing and hiding, based on, right? You remember that? Based on the current selection. So the current I have a list here, right? So when I do this, here. Okay, here. New service IDs. So I have two here, right? I have two IDs. To have two, one is 39, one is starting by 39 and another one by 49. But if I change them, now I have two, but it's different, right? So they are not by 31, see? They change. And if I put 3, 4, now I have 4. So I have 4, right? And of course, I have a counter here. This is also a variable that I'm counting in memory, right? And I say, okay, I have 4 services selected. So if I change this and I put my 2 here, I have 2 services selected. So everything I do is in memory. I'm modifying variable. I'm not modifying any records. This is slow. It's a slow process. You have to open the record, set the field, and commit to get a calculation like this, like the 2 services done. Okay. But here, the technique I use is very simple. I am just saying here, so I'm substituting a variable, a global variable, and at the end, I'm doing, okay, do me a favor to count how many values I have in this new service IDs, right? It will say 1, 2, 3, and then I have the counter that here, the counter that said, okay, value count, how many values I have in this variable. So you understand it's a variable. So it's value. This takes no time to calculate, to evaluate. And then I said, if the value count, if I have values here, if I have values, right? So you don't need to say if not isn't. No, you don't need, because you use the Boolean. So we have a Boolean. Okay. So if there's value count, show me the value count. If there's no values, put no. Okay. I don't want 0. I want no service selected. I don't want 0 service. It doesn't look great. So this is how you put something more elegant and you put something more human when you say no services selected instead of saying 0 services selected. It doesn't look great, right? And then here I have, I'm making something very simple. I say, okay, if the values, it's 1, so you put singular service selected. And if it's not 1, you put services selected, right? So this needs to change depending on the language. In French, for example, this doesn't work. It will be like this because zero in French zero is singular. In English, zero is plural. So you change it. You say, okay, if it's superior than one, then you put plural, right? So you have to change this calculation depending on the. But it makes the thing more human. And when you say and when you display something like this, right? And you say two services, and you say one service, you say, oh, okay, this is great, this is well done, right? This looks comfortable. It's nothing, but when you think like this all the time, you make something like you convey a sense of quality. And then quality means confidence, right? You have more confidence in, I don't know, in a Mercedes than, I don't know, cheap car, pick your brand. I don't want to hurt anybody feelings. So that's the same thing. So that's about the quality and the feeling you show. So when you're done, you have a button here. So of course you need to make sure that you show you feel confident on people, right? I have a friend of mine recently asked me, when I have no value on I have a calculation between two fields, A and B. But if I have nothing on the fields, the second field, I don't want the calculation to run if I have nothing on the second field. And I said, don't show the second field if you don't have anything on the first field, right? So it doesn't want the question. The thing was, you had two fields, A, B, but it didn't want the calculation to happen if the field A was empty. And if you put something on the B, but you put nothing on the A, the calculation was negative with, So it didn't want that to happen. Right? So I said, okay, instead of doing if case and stuff like this, just put something simple on the layout. Hide the second field if the first field is empty. That's it. Prevent the action to happen is better than to let the action happen and try to control it, right? Don't let the tiger out of the cage, right? If you let him out of the cage, too bad. It's complicated. But if he's in the cage, everything good. Okay. So here the same. I don't want that to happen because I have nothing selected, right? I have nothing selected, so I don't want that button to happen. And I don't want something crappy showing the buttons and click on the button and say, oh, you have selected nothing. You have a message. Wow, why you want to insult me? Okay, why you let me do if I cannot do it? Don't let me do if I cannot do it. So if you select something, you have something like this. So pretty much it's simple. If you have nothing selected, you hide the button, right? Right. So now I have something I can say, okay, press this, and automatically the thing will do what it should do. And I have my two services, and then I have everything clear, right? That I have one record, I have a mere record. So now it's the record that is going to do the bridge between projects, right, and the services. It's one piece, is one record that we do the between these projects, right, and the project and the service. That the bridge, okay, and that the famous record that I told you that I'm going to use to update things without to get the message that the record is busy if the record is busy, right? So here, that's why it's fast. It's fast because I've done nothing. I create two records. That's all, right? And I'm preparing my stuff and say, okay, it's the price is 0 because I didn't set the price. It's not started, right? It's not started. So I don't know. I have 0 files, that's true. And it's not invoiced, right? And if I want to do some action here, create an invoice or delete the record, right? Delete the record. But you need to make sure that you say what you delete. So also convey of quality, delete mortality, because this name is from off. I click the button. So when you click here, I click it. So I'm preparing the landscape to land where I need to land. Boom. Pretty much what I've done here. What he has done is creating the 12 month. He has created 12 month, 12 records, 12 month from August, because we start in August, right? The file, I start the process now. We are in August. So automatically, it started the process in August, right? And I want to make sure that people, so you saw that you have this nice CAR window saying, okay, oh, I'm creating the records. I'm creating the service records. So be patient. I'm doing something, right? Instead of having the spinning wheel, you have something. Right? So when you have something here, right? When you have something here, so when you land there for the first time, only the first time, only the first time. When you land there, I'm telling you what to do, right? So I have a big fat button, add original files, right? And I have a pop-up. So I may change the wording here because I have a repeating. It's not good, it's not good. I'm going to change the wording, right? But pretty much, I tell you what to do. I'm pointing the finger. And I say, okay, this is what you need to do. Add original file. At that point, you have nothing. You cannot do anything if you don't do this, right? That because there's no point of this layout if you don't do this, right? Okay, so you add a new. So here you see you have a button. So you can change the dates. You can change the price, right? You can send the status, right? You can change the name. So this is something you do there. You don't do this. You don't do this here. You don't change name here. Why? Because you cannot have two action in the same row. You need to have only one action in the same row. You cannot have two. Here you have one action. It's a click. You cannot have a click and at the same time edit. So because if you can edit this, so if you click here, you edit. If you click here, you open, right? Click here, you edit the name, and here you add, you open. So you have two behavior in the same row. It looks gross. It looks really nice, really not nice, right? So you just you open the record, you go, and then here you can change it, right? And of course, you saw the thing. I changed the name, I changed the price, and of course, I am in the current month of August, right? So because I changed the data here. Right? So now what I need to do is to, I can drag the file. So that's the same thing here. Okay. So it's not because I can drag the file that people won't like to go and select a file here using this, right? Right? It's not because you have drag a file that you don't want the dialog box. Let the people, because sometimes, especially on PC, they can go deep in their hard drive, whatever connected volume and stuff like that. So you might need the dialog, especially on Windows. The Mac, not that much, but Windows you need. So that's why I let the people do what they need to do. So also, what I do here, right? So I'm making a UI clear, a clear UI. Okay. So what we do? First of all, here you have definitely you can put something here. Okay. And it's a file apparently. Here you can select the script name. So let's select the script name. But now you're stuck there. You can close the window and adios amigos. Or you can so continue, select the file or drag the file. So that will take some time because the file is 30 megabytes. So so let's drag the file into the container. I don't know why it's so slow. Oh, the Zoom stuff. And I am sending the file there, and when the file is in the container, you will see what happened. Okay. So that to show you how you can get the user completely wrapped up. I mean, there's no possibility of mistake. Things appears and disappears when they need to disappear, right? Don't let people do something if they cannot do it, period. Don't tell them, oh, if you click on this button, you're dead, Don't say that. You don't convey any sense of quality and confidence. So you will get people scared to use your production. Something changed here. Yeah. The green selected file is now a blue launch original file. Okay. So it's different. And you saw something. We can clear the field. I can clear it with that button here, right? So this is clear. You don't need 200 buttons. You have one button showing up when you need to show up. And you have a workflow like this. If you want to change the file, to replace the file, just drag a new one inside or clear it, right? I tell you, do you want to remove it? Because it could be like 100 megabytes file. And you might have waited, 20 minutes to send the file there in the container. So you don't want to lose it in case of you do that by mistake. Do you want to remove the file? This is very important. The wording is important, right? Do you want to remove the file? No, do you want to delete? Oh, no, I don't want to delete the file. No, I don't want to delete anything. Delete is wow. Delete is scary. Delete bad. Do you want to remove the file, or do you want to clear the field? But delete, no. And you need to make sure that people understand that if you do it, it's on your own. This cannot be undone. Okay, so if you press remove, right, it's on your own. Okay, so as you can see, the wording is important. So that's what we learned in the class of doing a UI, is having a good wording. Sometimes I spend a day on the dialogue to get the wording, to make sure I don't confuse. I'm using the right word for the right action, and I'm not confusing people, and I don't give the people the interpretation. Delete is delete. Delete is adios amigos. Remove is not the same. Remove, that you imply that I can put it back. Can you remove the plates, the dish from the table, please? That as the waiter of the restaurant doesn't mean that adios amigos for the plate in your entire life. Delete, can you delete? It's not the same thing. So here I said, in the wording of a dialogue, we say, okay, remove file. Okay, what the action? What I'm doing here? I'm removing file. Okay, do you want? I'm asking. Do you want to remove the file? And I'm naming the file to make sure that people understand. So you keep a connection, visual and intellectual connection between what you do. You saw that the file was named client data. You might have been on your hard drive to retrieve it. You might have gone on your hard drive and typed client data to find it. So you have client data in your mind from the moment you selected, from the moment you selected to the time you saw it appearing on the container. At the moment you click on the button, you have to keep a physical, mental, visual connection between all of those. Okay, so client data, okay, and make sure that isn't done. And if you click remove, bye. Right? I'm not going to do it. So now that I have, you saw that I have a UI here ready. I'm ready. So I have no choice. I have no choice than to cancel, right? Close, cancel. Close by default is canceling, right? That's it. So you will say, Nick, okay, canceling on FileMaker doesn't exist. Yes, it exists. It exists if you do the thing right. So how we cancel something here? What did I do? I was on one table here, and I click here, and I'm opening another table, another context, another table in a new window, the card style window. But I'm in another context here. This context here is T07 here. I am in a context T12. I'm in the other context. So when you first land in that table, when you click add, okay, I'm creating a new record ready to receive the file you want to drag or select. At that point, if I cancel, that means I want to delete that record with everything inside. Say, okay, I don't want, I did it, I regret it, I don't like it, I don't want to do it. Let's forget about it. So if you click here, it's not just closing window. You have a script here that said delete the record and close the window, right? But you know me, you also can press escape and do the same thing. So on layout keystroke, right? You can delete. If you click, you delete this, right? You do delete, close. You do the same. But if you don't want to delete, and if you want to launch it, so you launch. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the bot. It looks the same as the bot you saw so far, but I cannot show you the client's the client bot stuff. But it looks the same. So I need to launch the bot on my own. I'm going to launch this. Okay. So, and we saw that last week, how we do this, right? So now here I have a new thing, right? I have a new order here coming on my screen, right? So now so far, right? I add something and I'm ready to do things, right? So what happened if I launch the script here, right? So now I want to have a good vision. I want to have a return of information. I want to know what's going on here, okay? Normally, that state I'm in cannot exist. Why? Because I'm in a state of waiting, because I stopped my bot to explain to you. But normally that's not existing. This state cannot be existing. So that's why it looks awkward. But okay, when I start the bot and I launch the thing, here now, it told me, say, okay, I'm importing records and I cannot cancel it. Sorry, it's not cancelable. Why? Because he's doing something, right? The bot is importing, is doing, I have an importing dialog box and stuff like that. So I cannot stop this. I need to, if I want to stop, I need to go to the bot and stop everything, and it's bad. It's not made to be stopped. I can, but you need to know what it's doing when you do this, right? So now he's importing the data. is importing the records. So it will take some time. While you do this, right, you can still doing things, right? You can open the other window and you can do what you can go there, that's the same file, right? And go to another to another service if you want, right? You can do that if you want. Okay. So and you're not blocked but what is doing here, right? Because what's the name? So here I'm here, right? So you can do this if you want, right? So you can go to another layout and do what. So you're not blocked because the computer working is not your computer. It's the bot. Okay. And by the way, the bot is already at half of the way. We have 600,000 records that I'm importing, right? So so here we know what's going on. We have a visual. So how I'm doing this? Okay. So so on the layout, that's very simple. You remember I told you I'm reusing a record that makes that record here. That here, it's a related record. It's a related record, right? It's not part of this one. This one doesn't have the double semicolon here. This one has. That is related. That record here is the same as, right? That record I'm showing here, that part here on top is the same record as this. So here in that table, I put all the tools I need, independent from project, independent of mortality. Independent on this, I have a bridge, right? And I'm putting all my stuff there. The bridge is this project service, right? Okay. And here I have all the tags started, queue running, tag invoice, has client. So I have tags 1, 0. You remember Boolean? I'm showing this and I'm using this to hide and show things. For example, how I know to display that this is not invoiced, right? How I know it needs to be red because if I say tag invoiced, right, it needs to be orange. If I said tag invoice equal 2, so you have 0, 1, 2. Okay, so that goes further than Boolean. It does a Boolean 0, 1, but I have 0, 1, and 2. I have a secondary level. Okay, in one Boolean, you can do that. So I said if it's 2, that means if the tag says 2, that means it's paired. If that says, that means it's invoiced but not paid. And if I have none, if 0, by default, it's red. Why? Because the default is the one that comes when you create it. It's logic. So look, why I will put my default something that is not default? Default is not invoiced. This is I cannot have something not existing invoiced already. It's not possible, right? So if the default is not invoiced and should be red, I don't need a conditional formatting for that state. That is the default state. The default state in the layout mode is red. It changed only on 2 occasions. If it's 1 and if it's 2. By default, this tag is empty. I don't even take care of it when I create that record because by default, it should be empty. By default, it's not invoiced, so it's empty. FileMaker empty or 0 is the same. Okay. I mean, in terms of evaluation. not in terms of interpretation, right? So you understand? So I'm saving computer time by don't taking care of why to put it green default if I have to reset it at the, it don't make any sense. So the default is red. So I put my button red and change the color. And I'm doing the same here. Here I have this. This I'm showing and hiding depending on another tag I have here. Is there, okay, first of all, if I have any file on it. First, if I have any file attached to that, any file, the physical file, the Excel file, if I have if I don't have any, don't show it, the block, because this is the group. In the group, I have different processes. So let's hide and show. In the group, I have the default, the one done, the one that when it's done, the one when it's pending, and the one when it's actually doing things. Okay? When the bot is doing things. So, and that's, I'm showing and hiding depending on the tag. So, how do I hide and show this one? When I don't have this, but it's a redundancy. But the most important is this. If that tag, the Q running original, tag Q running, if it's different from 0, okay? If it's different, if it's anything but 0, hide it. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if everything but 0, you don't say superior of, no, you don't do that. The only condition, if it's different from 0. That's what you need to learn. It's not superior from, no. If it's different from 0, I hide it. Then this one, the pending, it's when the pending is when it's different from 1. So if it's different from 1, if it's anything but 1, hide. So if it's not, hide. Don't say if it's, because I saw that on many developments. You want to hide when it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when it's 7, you don't want to hide. So you say, oh, I want to hide when it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When it's 7, don't. No, I'm saying if it's not 7, hide it. Period. Don't say if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hide. No. Say if it's not 7, hide. That's it. You have one line. So if it's not 1, if it's different from 1, don't show it. And the other one, you guessed it, this one, if it's different, if it's not 2, hide it. So if it's not 0, if it's not 0, hide it. If it's not 1, hide it. If it's not 2, hide it. Anyway, that field tag will be 1, 0, 1, or 2. It will be one of those 3. So at least one of those will be hidden and showing. At least one of those will be showing, because at least that field will be 0 or 1 or 2. But that group of people, the entire group, I say, if I don't have any files, don't even try to make it. So I don't need to take care of that eventuality. Because I said the group of the 3, if it's empty, hide it. If it's not, show me the group. And then in the group, you say, oh, it's different 1, different 2, different, different 0, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. This is how you show and hide things. So that being said, my bot is almost done, almost, He finished to import. Now he's doing a post-process data on 600,000 records, right? But the bot's still running, still showing he's running. Sorry, guys, I cannot show you. So, but now you say the bot is doing things, is going to evolve. The bot is running a script that is going to evolve. The script is going to evolve. Remember that this record here, the cross-reference 5 record, this record that makes the breaks between the bridge between the project and the service, that record, at no time this record can be opened. No time. And this is where I have in that record, I have all that tag stuff. I have all my tag, my status, my tag stuff, So now what happened? So now you understand how easy it is to treat with those things, to hide and show. Because my script, the 4130, is running things, right? And what I'm doing. Okay. When I start the script, I'm going there, right? I retrieve my file, right? I retrieve my file. The Excel file. I create a record, put the Excel file. Now the server on the other side of the planet is going to, the bot is going to retrieve that, perform a find, and then I'm saying something, right? I'm saying, I am in the T12 original context. I'm in T12. Okay. What do I want to do? I'm there. I'm in T12. I open this in T12 original. Okay. So I'm doing this here. I'm doing that. I'm doing what I need to do. And then I say, oh, wait about on that record in the T12 context, I need to inform the people watching me that I'm doing something. Okay. I need to inform the people. Let's inform the people. Oh, what do we need? Okay. So I have a relationship between the T12 and the cross-reference 5 record, right? And from there, I'm telling the other side and say, okay, by the way, what the message? Because I have on that record, I have a message. What the message? Oh, I'm importing data. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. And what is the here I have a conflict, right? You see where, so this need to go. So what the message? Okay, what is the tag? What the tag should do? Oh, the tag should say 2. Tag 2, right, is running. Okay. And I'm putting kind of a reminder what tag 2 means. It means it's running. That's why I put that on the comments, because when you debug, you can read and say, oh, okay, 2 is running. I don't need to remember what 2 is. No. And I have a message, and here I have So here I have a message, but I have a visual bug here. Okay. The message is importing records. This is what I want the people to see. I have a 2. 2 is for me. 2 is for 1012, right? The tag. And then I have a text, and I put whatever I want. So that means I can put whatever I want here. If I can put that, oh, I'm in the bathroom if I want. I can do whatever I want. but it won't change anything on my calculation because I don't care about what the text. I don't have any calculation on the text. I don't have any conditional formatting. I don't have any hidden state on this. I'm putting that. So that don't change. 0, 1, 2. But this I can say pretty much what I want. So and then I'm pursuing my stuff, right? So I'm going there, I'm doing stuff, right? And then I'm doing stuff, and I continue. And and then I said, oh, by the way, what should I do right now? So when I'm done with this, right? When I'm done, what should I do? Oh, you know what? We don't care about any message anymore because you're done, right? You're pretty much done. So put that on 0. That we hide all the thing. So we don't even care about the message. We won't show the message anymore. We're going to hide the text and put another text instead. That means when you're done, we're there, we're done. So I don't need to show pending. I don't need to show importing. I don't need to show that. Right? So this is how you do. But now you understand you need to have a pretty secure record where you can send those information. It cannot be a record that it might be opened by our user. You need to make sure that record is always not open, always closed, right? So doing those things, right? So the script is just saying, okay, oh, by the way, go to that field, put 2 and put the text, right? So what the bot is doing is still importing because we have 600,000 records. So it takes some time to do things, but you understand. So at one point, this will go away. So let's do it manually. Okay. Let's do it manually. So pretty much it's done. So now I don't say importing, cannot cancel, pending. I don't say that. I say, oh, I have, no, it's not 600, it's 300. I have 300,000 records here, right? But I can show you manually how it works, So, where is the tag? Let's put the tag here. Let me put the tag. Text or running original. So I'm adding the tag. So So when you add the tag, let's say here I'm on that record. If I put 1, I have this. If I put 2, I have this. If I have 0, I have this. Right? Simple. 0, 1, 2. And as I said, even though I'm editing this, if I do this, 1, 2, 0. Right? Cool.
I've got one last comment that it's not really a question, but I'll read it out anyway. Hide object when is cumbersome. I like a custom function called show only when Boolean. It just calculates the inverse and is much more clear to manage.
Yeah, I understand. But okay. Yeah, and yeah, you want the positive, you want a show when, not a hide when. Okay. That's what he wants. The problem is you're going to give you a bad habit, in my opinion. The best is to learn how to think like FileMaker do. I understand the hide, it's, but pretty much I never, when you hide is when it's not something. So that's my way to understand that differently. You hide when it's not. It's a negative. Hide when it's not. You never hide when is. Try to keep that. I know it's not always possible, But when it's not, you hide, right? So try to get that as a default. When it's not empty, hide, right? Not when it's, because when, we don't have, I mean, when it's not empty, or you hide. When it's not this, when it's not that. But sometimes, it's not always the case. So yeah, I understand. Thinking about it, there's no rules here. I don't know. I got the habit of hiding, right? I hide. I'm not showing. So think about, I don't want it. I don't want to see it when. I know it's not, you cannot say, show it when. No, because it's not what it's doing. And so I don't know. It's, yeah, I got it. Custom function that will reverse that, but it still won't work because you will get the others. You will, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about it. Yeah.
And then David Angel said, could use a variable for the text to show on the button in conditional format.
Yes, that's what I'm doing, by the way. No, no. Okay, no. Okay, yeah. Oh, good question. You cannot use global variable. Why? It's because the computer that will change the data on this is on the other side of the planet. It's not on yours. And if you base anything based on the variable, you have to refresh the objects. You need a trigger that will refresh the objects on your layout if you change a variable. Changing a variable won't trigger a refresh of your screen. Now, changing a record information, yes, it does. Changing a variable, no. You need a refresh object pointing to the object to refresh it. Conditional, hiding, and most of the time you need to commit. It's not as easy. The best in that case, I'm not saying all. For example, in my case here, I'm using a refresh object because it's everything based on variable. So I don't want to refresh on so I use a different technique because the technique of updating a record doesn't work well, right? Here it doesn't work. So what I do a refresh object here. I should have. Yeah, I have this. I have a refresh object. Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good technique. I want to show you before we go. We have two. Refresh object. I don't want refresh object, refresh object, refresh object, refresh object, refresh object. No, I don't want that. That's for the beginners. No. I want to put a list of the object name I want to refresh, right? So I want to refresh all those objects, right? And I have a refresh object 007, like James Bond. So I have a refresh object kind of for universal script here. And I say, okay, if I'm informing in my parameters that I want to refresh objects, okay? And then I put the list of objects. That's my parameters. So I'm reading the first parameter, say, okay, if the first parameters is object, then I want the object list. Take the object list. It's all the parameters, all the values in the script parameters from 2 to 9,000. Okay. And then I have a loop. And I say counter, refresh whatever the name of the first value go another loop, whatever the object on the second value, rather loop, third, 4, 5, 6. And then if I try to refresh an object, that when I reach the end of the list, it will return blank. It will return when I will try. If I have 5 value here, and I will reach to the 6, here refresh name will be blank. So blank means refresh object blank mean an error. 101 doesn't exist. So I'm exit the loop if I get an error. So let's do it. Go there, I do my stuff, and then I want to refresh the object because so far I don't see the green stuff here. It's not green. So I say, okay, it's an object. Set the value to the list. So I have my list. You know me now, right? Everything I do list of values all the time, because this is my stuff, right? So I have my list of objects is validate, selected counter, and selected check. So I have the counter, number 1. I want to refresh the object, everything good. Now I'm going to the second one, everything good, no errors. Then I have the third one, everything good, no errors. Now I want to go to refresh the fourth one, but I don't have a fourth name. Boom, 116. Layout object is missing. Thank you, I don't have a blank object. So, okay, then I have an error. That means gone is done, is over. So, exit loop. Boom, 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 boom. I refresh my object, and now I have my green stuff. Right? So that's a good technique to avoid refresh object, refresh object, refresh object. Sometimes you want to refresh all the objects. And I have people that do, refresh window, right? No, I don't refresh window. Don't press the atomic button. I'm not Kim Jong-un, okay? I don't press the button, or Vladimir, or whatever you want, So you don't press the button. No, you want a drone that target exactly what you want, So you don't want the big button. So if you don't have any question, it's 4:07. It's time to go.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Okay, thank you, and see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!